Today's topic is fear of the unknown, the resistance to change. Stay tuned. Welcome to the Law of Attraction Detox, where we detoxify from toxic techniques and instead focus on our true nature, where all the manifestational power exists. Today's topic is something that is very dear to my heart. It's about being afraid of the unknown factors of life, becoming accustomed to the way that your life has been and the state of being that you're used to the point where anything other is scary and frightening. How can we discover ourselves if we're afraid of it? How can we discover our true nature if it's frightening and we'd rather stay stuck in a state of being that is familiar to us? Well, I'm going to tell you, it's not easy, but it's simple. Basically, what we come up against when we are trying to create something outside in our world is an internal resistance to that change. We must become first within the person, the state of being, who has what he or she desires. That's why I use hypnotherapy. That's why I love it with my clients. I get to see them become the state of being that they already have what they desire. And from that state of being, they shed all of these other thoughts and these other beliefs and things that no longer resonate. And those are the thoughts and the beliefs and the patterns and the behaviors that actually have been keeping you stuck and keeping you from having what you desire. It's always just like a fingertip distance away is what it seems like when you are constantly trying to access a state of being or constantly trying to affirm something else into your life. The actual act of affirming things into our lives means that we don't already have it. Affirming that I am beautiful, loved, and adoring, and adorable, and all of these things means that I need to remind myself that I am that. And while that can go a little bit of a distance with our journey, it can help us to alleviate some of the pain of a belief system that would kept us trapped in feeling undeserving and unworthy. It's not the full picture. So what I want to address today is how can you discover within you your true nature, your true state of being that already has what you want and not be afraid of it. Okay, so the fear of the unknown is basically the core that keeps my clients from changing. And so I'm assuming that's probably something similar for you as well. I remember going through something similar to this, being afraid of actually having your dream lover, being afraid of your specific person actually showing up. How many of you have received a text or a call or had your specific person show up only to be frightened and afraid and nervous? And it's because you're afraid that this change is actually happening. Because what does that mean then? If this person shows up or if this certain amount of money ends up being yours, then that means that you need to maintain a certain state of being. And that's scary because we're not used to that state of being. We're used to the clutter and the chaos of the familiar patterns of limiting beliefs, the familiar patterns of destructive thoughts. And so when we shift into this other state of being, it's actually quite powerful. And it's the way that we get there is through surrender. We surrender into the unknown. And I was working with a client today and we had a really beautiful session. And what we discovered was this surrender feels similar to skydiving. And while I haven't ever flown out of a plane free fall yet, I can only imagine that it feels similar to the surrender that I discovered when I decided to call what I call sit into the hands of God. And it feels like a deep knowing that you're always supported, that you already are supported, that you feel safe and protected by this life, God, whatever you would like to call it, your higher self, your soul, your spirit. You're protected and you're safe. That unknown, however, is very scary if you haven't been accessing it often. If you've been playing a life of cat and mouse in your mind, of trying to catch something, trying to delete something, trying to manipulate and control something. when you surrender control over to some unknown, unseen, ineffable force, it can be really frightening. Because how can you actually trust something that you don't know? How can you trust something that you can't understand? Well, it's actually you. It's actually your true nature. So that should be relieving, that you are actually diving back into yourself. And you're trusting life to flow you to your next best thing. You're trusting life that it has an internal GPS system, and it's called your body. And that by getting back into your body and surrendering to this unknown, the power of life, that you open yourself up to the possibilities, endless possibilities of everything, versus trying to control everything and mash it down into a little box. And your mind is so limited, it can't fathom anything. You know, sometimes you can't even imagine what it would be like. Well, I don't know how to get in the state of being of the person who already has what he or she desires, because I can't even imagine what it would be like. How many of you have been there? I've been there. I can't even imagine it. So what if you don't need to imagine it? What if life will imagine you for you? What if life will just imagine everything for you? And you don't need to try to force and manipulate and control and be afraid of every thought and have this constant death grip on life. What if you can just surrender into this unknown that, okay, what I want, what I truly desire is to feel love, to feel expansive, to feel free, to feel safe, to feel protected. That's what I really want. And so I'm going to trust that life is going to bring me more and more and more scenarios where I get to experience more of that. If you want a partner, then you deserve a partner. We're humans. We're meant to couple. We're meant to partner up. It should be one of the most simple and easy things. But we live in a world where it's become muddled and difficult. But if that's what you desire, then it's already yours. You already have it within you. The only job you have to do is to get out of the way, keep accessing the love within you. The only job you have to do is to not listen to the thoughts that have been running on repeat your whole life. It's very interesting how easy it is, or how simple it is, but not easy. It's very difficult to stop listening to your thoughts. It's very difficult to notice that you've been perpetuating a state of being based on fear and lack, based on anger, based on a feeling of victimization and helplessness, like you don't have control. I don't have any control, so if I don't have control, then I'm going to try to control life even more, which just leads you more suffering, and it leads you further and further away from what you want, which is the felt experience within your body of love, of happiness, of contentment. So when you're spinning out of control and you're trying to find something else, it's maybe because you're afraid of letting go right now in this moment and just letting it be. I have often noticed that I am feeling tense and worried and stressed, only to realize that it was because I was trying to control my life. I was trying to figure out what the next thing was going to be that would happen. Who knows? Maybe I'll walk out into the street and walk my dog and I'll get hit by a bus. Couldn't control that from happening. That's what I mean. These things in life, they just happen, and when you just relax and you surrender into the unknown, life just fucking flows. You have to just access that feeling though once to know what I'm talking about, to know that what I'm saying is, yes, indeed true, that this is the easy way to manifest things. This is truly the only way to honestly get what you desire, is to just surrender into life is happening. Life is happening for me. Life is not happening to me. It is happening for me, and it is happening through me. I am projecting out onto my screen of reality whatever I choose to perceive. And I don't know what's next. So I'm going to surrender, and I'm just going to relax. Do your breathing. Do your breath work. Get down in your body. Meditate. Look out at the tree. Get out in nature. Take a walk. Do something that feels good. Take a shower, a hot bath, go to the sauna, stretch, go dancing. All of these things, this is what life is made of. You don't want to be at the end of your life wishing that you had enjoyed it more. You don't want to be spending the rest of your life doing techniques trying to get something to happen when that's not what you really want. What you want is the experience within. That is the resistance when you are trying to control life, when you're trying to get into a state of being, when you're trying to imagine something. It's just stop trying. Just stop trying. Oh, but wait, what if the universe doesn't know what I want? If I stop trying, if I let this go, then the universe is going to forget to bring me what I want. The universe is not going to quit. Life is not going to stop lifing just because you let go and quit worrying and quit trying to control. The sun's still going to come up. The sun's still going to set. The moon and the stars are still going to come out. Everything is, if you notice, still happening, even if you aren't fretting and worrying about it. And guess what? It happens quickly. Life starts to shift to represent your trust in it. I trust. I trust. I don't need to control anymore. I don't need to hold on to this thought anymore. I don't need to try to do techniques anymore. I'm just going to trust. And guess what? Life just shows up. And then you get hits, you get intuitive hits about what you should do and where you should go. And then you get intuitive hits about what's on the way, rather than you trying to manipulate and figure out what it is that you want life to show up for. And in what way? I want you to show up this way, life. Instead, life is showing you how you need to show up for life to happen. Life is showing you what direction to go, and life is showing you what's next. Try that. Try that, and you're going to see massive results in your life. Okay? Hit me up if you want to do some coaching. I do hypnotherapy. It's radical shift into life. I'm offering the free 15-minute consultations right now. Hit me up for that. I'm doing it for the rest of this month, for my birthday month. And we can chat more about how I can be of service to you. Okay, let's get you into the state of being where you already have what you want. So much love to you. Mwah. Bye for now.